Hi, I'm Marlon Marisha from Web Design Profits, and today I want to talk to you about the difference between getting a lead online and the difference between a referral when it comes to conversion rates. Now, I think we all know that if you get a referral, you typically have a higher conversion rate, and if you get an online lead, it's a much colder prospect. It's not as warm or as hot as a referral, so the lead will be much harder to convert. And I think that's something that we all know, okay? Or if you've never thought about it, it may be because you've never got a lead online before. You've never been able to get Facebook ads working for you or Google ads or SEO. But the reality is, if you want to scale your business and grow your business, the way you need to grow it is with online leads. It is very difficult to scale when you have just referrals, because referrals mean that someone else is in control of growing your business. When someone else feels like referring you, when someone else thinks of you, when someone else decides that they're going to talk to a friend about how great you are, then you get the opportunity to get a lead. Online leads is when you decide, when you turn on the campaign, when you do some effort, and when you want to grow your business, you can grow your business by generating more leads. And so what I want to show you very quickly is just this little box that shows you the differences and why online is better and how to really increase the conversion rate on your online leads. So if you look at referrals, the quality is typically higher. So the quality is higher, but the quantity is much lower. And so that means you can grow, but it's very slow, okay? The online leads, the quality is typically lower, but the quantity is higher. So you have many more leads, but you get a lot of leads that typically could never work with you, or they don't trust you. And so you've got to work a bit harder. But what it enables you to do is scale your business when you can generate online leads. So one isn't better than the other. You know, referral isn't better than online, and online isn't better. It just depends on the purpose. So I get lots of referrals, but I also get way more online leads because I've got my campaigns working that have actually been built to scale my business. And so when it comes to the referral lead, typically people tell me that they will convert at about 80%, okay? And it might be 60, it might be 90, but it's about 80. It's very high because that person likes or trusts you, or they like or trust the person that referred you. When it comes to an online lead, typically the conversion rate is around 15%. And that's because the person doesn't like or trust you. Like with my funnel, people typically will click on an ad, they'll fill in a quiz, and then they booked an appointment. And it might be 24 or 48 hours later, they're on the phone speaking to me. That person does not know me, they don't like me, and they probably don't trust me. They just thought that maybe this person can help solve my problem. It is my responsibility when I get on that call to build the trust and to build the credibility. And so I have to work harder to get that person to actually become a client. And that's not a bad thing. But what I do want you to know is that you can get that up to 50 to 80%. You just can. But you have to do it through a process. And so now we've established a couple of things. Referrals are good, 80% conversion rate. Online leads are very good, but lower conversion rate. But how do we get it higher? How do we get it to the 50, 60, 70, 80%? Well, the way you do it typically is through a 3-step process. And so the first thing you want to do, if you want to increase your conversion rate, is you want to use a sales script. And your sales script is very important because it proves that you don't need to be an extrovert to be a great seller or salesperson. You can be an introvert. A sales script means you follow a formula that has been pre-designed to get to the heart of the issue that someone actually has and the reason why they buy your product, and then you introduce your product or service after that. You don't just tell them to buy your product or service, because at that point they don't have buy-in, and so they're not going to care about your product because they're still trying to figure out how that relates to their problem. So the first half of those meetings need to be all about the client's problem. So then you can then introduce your solution, which is the website. The second thing you need is an IP framework, and this is a weird kind of acronym, IP, but it means intellectual property framework. And what it does is it sits in the middle between the client and the website. So typically you have the client here, you have the website here, and what you do is you put your IP framework here. So people will typically try to sell the client a website directly. What I do is I sell a framework, and the framework actually sells the website. And so that is how I will convert more people who are cold prospects from online into clients and go from a 15% conversion rate to a 60 or 70% conversion rate. And the last thing you need is a big old practice. You need to do it lots. You need to practice and practice and practice to get it right. And if you don't practice, you're not going to get the results. You're going to stay down there at the 15%. And so that means you need to be generating lots of leads online. And you need to be going through a sales script using your IP framework and do it again and again and again until it works for you. So if you have listened to me today and you're like, Marlon, I hear what you're saying, but there's some gaps there with what I'm actually doing and what I understand that I should be doing. I want to encourage you to book in a 15-minute scale session with me. In that 15 minutes, we'll find the 3 biggest roadblocks in your business that are stopping you from growing your web design business, and then we'll come up with some tactics that you can actually implement right now to make a difference in the next 90 days. So if that's you, I want to encourage you, click the button below, fill in the application form, whatever you can do to book in that call with me. And I look forward to speaking to you and talking to you about how you can grow your web design business. Speak to you soon.